Jonathan Anderson's collections are always a challenge, but I feel that the collection he showed today is even more of a challenge than usual. He talks about every look in the show being a composite of one girl, one look. So actually, rather than seeing specific standouts as you leave the show, you're thinking about this one image. I think that requires a way of looking at things that would be like the eye of a fly, a multifaceted ability to absorb a million impressions all at once, which I simply don't possess, but I'm perfectly happy to meet whatever challenge Jonathan Anderson sends my way.
For me, after the pre-collection, which we do and we show to buyers, I wanted something. Over the Christmas period, I was thinking we wanted to go something which was more feminine. We had done a collection a while back, which was about party girls, which was in the 80s, based on the 80s. And I just thought, what would it be like if we were to create a wardrobe which was more like a style odyssey? It was a one girl, this idea of a brunette, the chignon to one side. You have this idea of a very kind of like, it wasn't just about characters this time, it was about one girl and her odyssey through the collection, like where she's going.
I think he does it with such spontaneity. He's in the moment all the time, and it's fleeting and it passes, and it's a collaging. But what I do think is that the styling in this show is incredible, because it's pulled together ultimately in a coherent silhouette, and it seemed much more grown up this time.
Jonathan has an incredible capacity of mixing. It is really like postmodern sensibility, I think, in terms of like taking pieces from different time and culture and garments. I like something that he said about like how the show was really a style odyssey. The odyssey is a discovery, looking for your roots and trying to get home.
Well, as Stefano Tonchi just said, an odyssey is a search for your roots. It's the whole notion of this, it's a voyage of self-discovery. So how do you interpret that interpretation?
I'm really, for someone who I started in men's, I am always trying to discover that woman, because ultimately...
Your inner woman.
My inner woman. No, but it's just I started in men's and then I started doing women's. Then it became a thing in terms of doing men's and women's, and it was just something where I felt like, how do we start to define her in terms of her textural taste, her language of dress, and how do you start to build upon that feminine edge to a masculine edge that is the J.W.Anderson girl.
It's interesting psychology. It feels to me like the show, having to do a show of the clothes, really ordered your thinking about the collection.
Because you've got to, as we said,
made it sequential and coherent.
You have to take 34 looks to reduce it into a fundamental snap picture that you remember from it. You know what I mean? That it's not, instead of homing into the one look, where we're obsessed with like this idea on Instagram, we have to have the one look that's going to be featured, and it's like color and it's things in this. It's decided that the whole thing is a look, and
wow,
and it's done.
I need fly eyes to look at that so I can see a million things all at once.